luxury lifestyle, tech tools, hot jazz, passionate living. Good music today. Good music. Well, every show. So welcome. Stop what you're doing. Although this is some music, you can keep doing stuff too. And then I'm going to come in and talk to you about some tech tools. I have a new segment that I'm starting. And we got a little bit of passionate living stuff that I'm going to get started on. I haven't done that yet. So we're going to get started because we got some shows coming up that will give you ideas about how to live passionately. Okay, enjoy. Hello, hello, hello. Zenobia here. Let's see. Still getting the camera thing together. It's okay. Tech Diva and the Luxury Lifestyle. Another midweek enjoyment. Actually, when the camera gets turned off, it gets turned off a little bit too soon because normally I'm having a good time listening to the music also because I really enjoy it. I hope you enjoy it as well. And I have my wonderful Chris here. He's been very patient with me today because things are kind of all over the place. So, Chris, can you have me the music list? I have to remember to tell you the music that you're listening to because I just listen to it and I have a good time and I know it, but you need to know it as well. You just heard Club Descarga, and that's a compilation, and the compilation is called The Body Acoustic. I think that's a really, really cool kind of tune. Prior to that, DC Boogie, and a lot of you know Paula Hardcastle from film scores, and that's from Hardcastle 6. And leading off the show was a tune called Vapor, and it's by a group called Soul Live, Soulive. And the CD is Breakout. So you're here spending some couple of hours with me, Zenobia, the Touchable Tech Diva. And what that means is that I'm a technology maven. I don't use the word geek, but if you have to use that, because people do call me a geek, I'm a cute geek. Okay. I'm a technologist, entertainment technologist. I've been in entertainment technologies for a lot of years. Some of you haven't been born almost 2 generations. Too much information. Anyway, I've been involved in the recording business. I've been a recording engineer for a lot of years, and I've also been a not a systems engineer, a sales engineer, because I put together, after doing a lot of recordings, people will always ask me, okay, what should I play this fabulous music on? What equipment do I need? So I got into selling professional audio equipment and putting together recording studios. All of the audio, high-end audio, Studers, Otaris, some of you guys will know those names, Soundcraft, and in project studios, because they were just getting started way back in the day. So I supplied Earth, Wind & Fire, Wayne Vaughn, a lot of people, equipment for their project studios at home. And I supplied a lot of professional audio equipment to the film lots here in Hollywood, West Hollywood on the west side, as well as a lot of the broadcast stations, the radio stations. I'd always have like gear in my car because I'd take the gear, and I always thought that it was really good if people could try it out because then they could know if it was going to work for them or not. So I got the reputation of people asking me when they see me coming, okay, so what do you have in your trunk now? So I don't do that anymore. Now I'm carrying my little iPhone. So I do stuff interactively now on my iPhone. And what else? I've dabbled into producing interactive content. Not dabbled, I did a lot. Actually, I've won awards for my production for CD-ROM projects, international awards. So if you want a good person that knows how to do interactive architecture, that is how the flow goes when you click on something, there's more to it than just clicking. There's a lot of thought and user psychology that goes into designing how this stuff works, because we want you to do certain things when you click or feel certain things when you click. So I still do that. I did websites for a while. I try not to do websites, but if you twist my arm, I will do a website for you. At least lay out the architecture once again and be the intermediary between the techie guys, the coders, and the artists for the look and feel, and you, because all three of you are different worlds. And a lot of times you don't talk to each other and don't understand each other's language or understand what the end result is supposed to be. So that's where I come in, and I help to be the interface and the translator of what you as the client desires to have at the end, and how to get that done. And I translate that into coder talk and graphic design talk so that at the end, you're happy, they're happy, and I'm happy. Everybody's happy. That's the optimum way that things should work. When people want to cross over into the other worlds, then not so much. So that I've gotten a reputation of being really not good as the intermediary and the translator between the outside world and the techie world. And let's see, other stuff I've done. Well, I've done the show before. So this is my 2.0. And now I'm really excited because we're going to do some really, really cool pioneer type technology stuff with this show. And I love that kind of stuff. I'm an addict for technology and pushing technology to the limit and getting it to do all kinds of fun stuff. And then I can look back, have my nice Remy 1738 and say, that's a good thing. Okay, so that brings us back to here. That's a little bit about me. There's some other stuff, but I'm going to save that. The show here, the idea behind the show, Tech Diva and the Luxury Lifestyle, it's a passion of mine. These are all passions of mine, okay? So I'm sharing my passion with you, which I think is a pretty nice combination. I've had people to say, hey, didn't you do this show before? What about that show? So I decided I'd do it again. And I liked this as a venue to be able to talk about technology, making it touchable, and taking the ahas out of it, or actually putting ahas in, that's what you mean, or that's what that was about, and make technology so it's more touchable and you don't have that standoff denial about letting technology to work for you instead of avoiding it. Because in this day and age, we need all the tools that we can use. And I'm here to talk about a lot of the topics that probably cross by your lives. So many people don't really realize how much technology really influences your life and your choices subliminally. Remember the subconscious, and subliminally as well as overtly. So to know a bit more about how that impacts your life and how you can make better choices for yourself and have more control over your life. And it's what I call buying your time back, because once you learn how to incorporate certain technologies in your life and make that an automation, like an automatic, like you have to brush your teeth, you just brush your teeth. You don't even think about, oh, I forgot to brush my bottom teeth. You just do it. The more we can make certain aspects of technology automatic like that, then to me, that frees us up. It's freeing, and we can have more time to do the other part, which is about passionate living, or what I call the luxury lifestyle. Luxury lifestyle can mean a lot of different things, and you can, here on this show, make it subjective to you what luxury lifestyle is about for you. I'm going to be bringing some information, some really cool shows, cool topics. It's not geeky, but there is science and technology behind some of these. And later on in the show, I'll give you a little heads up about one of the passionate living shows that I'm going to be doing probably in the next couple of weeks, at least to get us going. And that way, when we live more passionately, and this is not sex, this is passion. It's about passion, not sex, but sex may come in there because of how passionate you feel about different things, not about sex. But sex may happen. You never know. Anyway, that's not for me to touch. I'm just here to give you tools. And what you do with your tools is wonderful. Hopefully it will be wonderful. So it's about, because I believe that we've gotten so caught up in paying bills that we've gotten away from our passion and what we were passionate about. Remember when we were kids, even in college, I think about when I was in college, there were a lot of, you were just kind of carefree. And I was in college in the 60s and the early 70s. And it was a very volatile time, especially the late 60s, 68, 69, 67, 70, 71. Very volatile. For those of you babies who weren't around, we had the Vietnam War. And we had the flower child movement to come up and to surface during those times. And those were really culture-changing events and experiences that happened back then. So it was a hotbed of a lot of stuff. And we would get on the street with our passion. Do we do that now? Well, we're starting to do it a little bit more, at least in the United States. It kind of went on hiatus, and now it's resurfacing in various ways. I'm not getting into the politics or any of that stuff, but passion. But we need to use our passion to regenerate ourselves, because we are the most sleep-deprived, obese, tired, slow-thinking. Still got a little creativity going on, but that's in the younger generations. The older generations, not so much. That we do need to get back to things that will rejuvenate us, give us an opportunity to walk away from the everyday by rote kind of stuff that we have to do, which may not necessarily be what you like to do, but you have to do it, and get out, free ourselves, and do some things that are completely different from the everyday, and give yourself permission. I'm going to act like your mother here, and if I have to, sometimes I have to be given permission. Crazy concept, but I tell people, you just have to come and just drag me away from my 16-hour day at the computer, okay? Just say, Zenobia, let's go. And sometimes we have to have that, or have someone to do that. And if we can't just get up and just go do stuff on our own, because it is regenerating and refreshing, so you can come back with fresher eyes to do what you do have to do and what the necessary stuff is that you do have to get done. So that's the philosophy behind this show. I'm giving you some tools, technology tools, so that you can free yourself of some of the complicated, well, not complicated stuff, but some of the stuff that can be automated by technology, or give us faster access to information, or, like here, address book, calendar, and syncing it so that all of your computers, or whoever you want to be synchronized with, you can do that. That's very freeing, actually, because then you don't have to, I don't want to hear, okay, I have to wait till I get home to check my day timer to tell you when we can have a meeting. No, we do it right then, right there. And I tell people, if you don't see me put your appointment in my phone, or you try and tell me and you don't write it down, or you don't see me put it in here, the chances are very, very slim and on a sliding scale that I will ever remember right now, because I have so much, and we all have so much that we have to do or have to deal with, that I don't want him. Well, I told you, No, don't tell me. You either email me, you text me, so that I can easily put it into my calendar. Then you're on board on the calendar, and it will be synced to my desktop that's 3,000 miles away, because I'm bi-coastal. I'll be talking about that in a little bit. So that everything is synced up and I have you on my calendar wherever I am, okay? So that's freeing, because then your mind doesn't have to try and hold on to what was it that I had to do? What was it? It was something. And then those are the tools. And then my other passion, the hot jazz. This is all interspersed with taking a few minutes to digest all the technology stuff that I've talked about. Here's some really cool music. And then throw in some of these passionate living kinds of things that we're going to be doing, and hopefully you'll have homework and you'll go out and go do something fun. And soon, very soon, the community website will be up, and you'll be able to share your experiences and what you've done for your homework, or if you have suggestions and topics that you would like for me to explore. So that's a philosophy behind Tech Diva and the luxury lifestyle. Tech tools, hot jazz, passionate living. Okay, on to some more music. I've talked enough for a while. See you in a bit. I'm back. Okay, so the last three tunes that you just heard Marcus Miller. As I mentioned before, I'm an avid bass instrument lover. I don't play anything. I played piano for a bunch of years when I was a kid, but I don't play anything now. But I love to hear live music, and I love the bass instrument. I know exactly who turned me on to the bass, and it was acoustic bass, was Ron Carter. Back in the CTI days, I mentioned CTI to somebody, and they just lit up because CTI Record Company was one of the first record companies to actually take jazz to a more commercial level. Because they paired it up with jazz festivals. My late husband was the founder of the Berkeley Jazz Festival. If you're into jazz festivals, you know about the Berkeley Jazz Festival at UC Berkeley. And there's interesting history to that because I was there too, because I was his girlfriend then. We did this thing at UC Berkeley. There weren't that many African-American students on the campus. This is history. I'm taking the time out here. Bit of history. And they had a radio station. Most college campuses have a college radio station, and the station just played all this random stuff. And so we wanted to have some music that was more urban music, and I was a jazz lover even back then. And so what we did was all the students, any student that was a student at UC Berkeley had a vote for the student body or any activities that required a vote on the campus. And so our strategy was because we wanted to change up the programming on the radio station. They were having officer elections for the station. So we got together all of the athletes, all of the cheerleaders, and everybody else that we could round up, all the Greek clubs, and we told everybody, show up on the day of the election. So everybody showed up, and we had our full slate of officers that we wanted to have voted in. And because nobody hardly ever goes to the radio station elections ever, except, the few people that were really interested. And our slate won, the whole slate won, and people were just in shock. So the next day, the campus was kind of in shock because all of a sudden, all of the officers for the radio station were different, and the programming ended up being different. So we ended up having to compromise, and so we got a big block of programming time, and there were other shows. They went back to having a more diverse programming for the whole campus. So as an outgrowth of that, UC Berkeley has beautiful amphitheater facilities, just beautiful mountain background, everything is just beautiful. And so what we decided to do was to do like a 3-day jazz festival. And because we were getting music to the station from the record companies, they were giving us records. At that time, campus radio stations could not advertise, okay? It was a public institute. You can't advertise on a college campus. But we would go to the local record shops. There were still record shops back then, mom and pops. And the record labels found out what we were doing, and so they would bring us records, and we would say, thank you so-and-so and so-and-so for bringing us music, or they would bring us food. Thank you so-and-so restaurant for bringing us. That was actually the beginning of some of the promotions that you get on public radio and television today. That's how that started. Okay, so we got with the record labels and told them that we wanted to do a jazz festival there, and we got the first jazz festival. We got a full lineup of all of CTI's artists: Grover Washington, There was there was all kinds of artists. I'll get you the information. But Grover was one. There were a lot of Don Cherry, just way back, because CTI Records was kind of new back then too, and this is a perfect opportunity for them to promote their labels. So that was the beginning of the Berkeley Jazz Festival and jazz festivals, and that's where Ron Carter was on the label, and that's where he played on just about, a lot of the CTI records, and also we heard Miles. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. He played on a lot of Miles content, a lot of Miles. They were all paired up, and this was back in the early 70s. So that's where my love for bass came from, because Ron Carter, he played upright acoustic bass and electronic bass. Back then, that was also in the early days of electronic music and electronic instruments too. That got started there also. I can talk to you and geek you out on how MIDI started, because I was involved with doing recording sessions before MIDI was even invented, and I actually knew one of the inventor of MIDI. And then we see where that is today. So that was a long introduction to Marcus Miller, bass player. The song is called Rampage, and the CD is The Sun Don't Lie. And prior to that, Miles. Miles is my all-time favorite musician all around. Marcus is bass. Marcus and Ron Carter. But Miles is my all-time #1 favorite music artist. And that was a tune called Hannibal. One of these days, I'm going to get a music stand so I don't have to look down. Hannibal, and that's from Amandla. And leading off the set was Club Descarga. Or did I do that before? No, I did that one before. That's right. So we only had 2 long tunes. Okay, I'll get it together. Anyway. Okay, so I'm going to take a couple of minutes. Man, this is flying by fast today. Hi, Chris. It's flying by fast today. I'm going to do a little introduction to a new feature that I plan to add in, and given my workload and all of that, I'll be able to do a What's That? It's a segment called What's That? And the reasoning behind that title is that a lot of times when I talk to people about technology and they're not familiar with a lot of technology, or they're technology challenged, as they say, and I bring something up and I see the eyes kind of haze over, they're looking right at you, but they're not looking at you, then I know, okay, I have to back up, because something I said went right over their head, and that's where I came up with What's That? And that is to pick a term or a technology and talk about it very briefly so you don't haze over. But and it'll be something that you normally would say, oh, what's that? Or you just ignore it. And I'll talk about it and let you know why you should incorporate it in perhaps into what you're doing, or why not. So that's a segment called What's That? One of the things I'm doing, I'm also right now doing my own graphics. I'm doing everything. I'm the everything girl. So I'm going to come up with a graphic. So this could be like a real TV show where they flash, graphics and all that kind of stuff. I don't really care about it, but I'm going to try to, I will have all of that kind of stuff done and incorporate it. Okay, so this is the first What's That? And it is whitelist and blacklist. And the What's That? They're going to run the gamut of technologies and just stuff you do every day, and it's going to be all over the place. But I'm sure some of you have heard whitelist, and okay, so what is that? And blacklist, well, you know when somebody gets blacklisted, what that means. That's essentially the same. Where this comes in is with your email. Okay, so you know we're inundated with spam and emails that we don't really ask for. And depending on the ISP, they do a good or poor job of blocking spam, and you still get some of it in. So whitelisting is a way that you can make a list of the email addresses that are okay, that you want to come in and you want to receive emails from them. That's what a whitelist is. That means that those emails can pass through to your inbox. Blacklist, on the other hand, is what you may imagine, and that is those spam emails that have like crazy addresses, and you know it's spam, and you know they're not up to any good, and they're clogging up your inbox. You can put that URL, that email address on a blacklist so that it does not get to your inbox. So a lot of your email clients like Yahoo, probably Google has one too. A lot of them have a setting. You have to go into your options, and there will more than likely be a setting a feature where you can say, okay, here's an email address that I do not want to go through to my inbox. And sometimes it is tedious because you have to actually catch the email that you don't want and then copy it, file copy, and paste it in and into that list. So that helps the ISP to catch that email before they send it off to your inbox. So that's a way to help to cut down on some of the spam that actually goes to your inbox. Okay, so that's your lesson for today. Whitelist, blacklist. Brought to you by Zenobia, the Touchable Tech Diva, here at Tech Diva and the Luxury Lifestyle. Tech tools, hot jazz, passionate living. Be back in a bit.
It's time to take a journey.
I'm back. Zenobia here with Stolen Lover. That is such an exotic, erotic kind of song. I'll do that sometimes. Anyway, Stolen Lover number 4, Michael Paolo. That's from a CD that I got years and years ago, GRP and K-Ace. If you're in the LA area and you were around in the 80s and the 70s, and before that there was a station here called K-Ace, K-A-C-E. And our general manager here, Johnny Morris, I think he's familiar with that. And back in the 80s, a lot of the popular jazz stations, oh, hello. I just went into pure radio mode. Okay. A lot of the popular jazz stations would do compilations of the real popular jazz tunes back in the day, and so I still have a couple of those. I don't think they really do that much anymore, but it was called the GRP Records. A lot of people would remember GRP Records, and K-Ace 103.9 presents, and that was Stolen Lover, Michael Paolo. Prior to that, Stanley Clarke, Marcus Miller, Victor Wooten. When I found this, it's SMV. I was in heaven that day because these are 3 of the top jazz bass players that are around today. And to find them all on one CD was just a wonderful thing to me. So you heard Los Tres Hermanos, and it's from the CD called Thunder. So if you like bass and you like electric bass and want some really, really good music, great music, then go get Thunder. And then prior to that, you heard Code Noir, and that's from a CD called Cité Soleil, and that's Patrick Charles. And Patrick Charles, I don't remember where I came across him. I think I actually found him on Facebook, and I played some of his music. He's a drummer, and he plays all over the world, a lot in Japan, in Asia. And I found this, and I'm like, oh, this is really cool. So you heard Code Noir, and one of these days I hope to get him on a show, because he's very fascinating. He has a great perspective on music and playing around the world, especially since he plays all over the world. And let's see, prior to that was a tune called Donde Están Mis Zapatos? That's Where Are My Shoes? And this is an artist called Misha. And Misha is a keyboardist. And he was one of the top studio keyboardists around, and they got him to do one album. So this is like a one-hit wonder. I have the whole album is great, and it's called Connected to the Unexpected. Try and find it now. It's very difficult. You might go to like a vintage or a high-end store that has records, and you might find it. And then leading off the set was a tune called The Jazz Life. And it's from My Brother and Me, Dave McMurray. So that was kind of a different little tune. And, yeah, anyway. So that was very cool. All right, Zenobia here. We're getting towards the end of the day here. Tech Diva and the Luxury Lifestyle. Music, we're still feeling our way through this whole show thing. And Chris and I are back here with USB extenders because we're getting ready for doing a live music set here. So that's what we're doing, and that's why we're playing a lot of music. So we're getting everything prepared to do that. So back to some more music. Zenobia here. Enjoy a little bit more music, and then I'll be back in a bit. Take care. Hello, we're back. Okay, Zenobia here. Okay, In My Wildest Dreams. Kind of a fun tune. Tom Grant, and the CD is In My Wildest Dreams also. I don't know what it is about this microphone. It just keeps me looking at it. Anyway, instead of the camera, this is TV. Okay, In My Wildest Dreams. And then number one, In the Moment, from In the Moment, by Althea Renee. I just killed her name, Althea Renee. She plays flute and wind instruments. Really, really cool tune. And prior to that, Shake Dance, the World of Contemporary Jazz compilation. And that was the Crusaders, which, you know, us old school jazz people, you probably recognize that. And leading off the set was a tune called 24/7, and that was Paul Brown up front. Okay, well, somehow I've run out of time and I have way, way more music, but we're going to do a couple more tunes. And just to kind of front load you, I'm going to, I was checking Chris out, he was looking at me. I'm going to front load you a little bit on next week's show, live music. So come back, live music, a jam session of some sort, surprise. And also, we're going to get into the Passionate Living section for sure next week. And the topic is going to be organic libations. Organic libations. So that can run the gamut from craft organic beers to organic wines to organic tequilas, vodkas, gins, all kinds of things. So we're going to do an Education 101 on organic libations and have some samples and talk about a little bit about just to get us started. And I'll probably do this as a series and have samples from the beers, from the wines, and from the alcohols. Yes, organics, because that's becoming a big thing. Organics is not yet an overused term, but in terms of libations, it's fairly new. And I think it deserves investigating, because then you can have some fun with your libations. Now, I know that there's a lot of people that do not drink alcohol at all. But some of these standards that we're going to talk about, because I've actually dived into FDA information in terms of what they're classifying as organic and how organic libations have to be labeled. It's very interesting. So that we're not going to get too heady with it, but it's very interesting to me. And now you see a lot more organic, I'm calling them libations. That's a catch-all for the beer, the wine, and the alcohols. You see them on the shelves a lot more, especially into the specialty stores like Trader Joe's, Sprouts, Whole Foods. I'm not pushing any particular one. Okay, so we're going to talk about those and get into that. I think that'll be really cool. And there is some technology involved there also, because it's new brewing techniques, new farming techniques as well. So that will be our technology and our passionate living. Okay, Zenobia here. It's almost time for me to go. We're going to have a couple more tunes, squeeze in a couple more tunes, maybe at least one. And I look to see you next week. The show will be up on the YouTube channel. I'm braving YouTube, and I'm making the shows public. So give it a couple of days. Last week's show is there in case you want to go back and grab the part 2 of the mobile security. And next week, live music and organic libations. I think this is going to be a fun show. And, of course, hot jazz. So Zenobia here, the Touchable Tech Diva at Tech Diva and the Luxury Lifestyle. I'm on live on Wednesdays, noon to 2 Pacific Standard Time if you're on the West Coast. But I'm live wherever you are checking me out right now at this point in time. across the globe. Have a good rest of your week. Let's hump the rest of this week, and I'll see you next time. Okay, have a great one. Bye-bye.